Hello, boys and girls, and men and women, and students. We're going to do a little bit of an English and art type thing today. And this is creative writing. We're going to learn about character sketches. And it's very important when you write a story. A character sketch describes a character's inner and outer qualities. You want to describe this, you want to talk about what is the character's physical description. What does the character's voice sound like? What kind of person is the character? What do others say about him or her? And where does the character live? And we'll try to do a portrait of your character as well. Some famous character sketches in literature: description of Ichabod Crane, the physical characteristics in the legend of Sleepy Hollow. You can see Washington Irving's use of similes in this description. A simile or a metaphor is comparing something to something else, using like or as. You could say she is as beautiful as a sunset, or he's just like a bear. Is your character as gentle as a dove, as wild as a stallion, or as bright as the sun? John Quidor pictured the legend of Sleepy Hollow, and there we see the headless horseman and Ichabod Crane, who was very skinny and not exactly your hero type person. If you want to read a really good story, it's a good one to read. Robert Louis Stevenson actually was an artist as well, and he wrote Treasure Island. And he tells how he started this after returning from his first trip to America, where he was married. He says he was still a relatively known author, and inspiration came to him in the summer of 81 in Scotland when bad weather kept the family inside. To amuse his 12-year-old stepson, Lloyd Osborne, he used the idea of a secret map as the basis of a story about hidden treasure. And can you think of other stories, maybe something by Tolkien, where a map is a part of the story? Constance said about the character Blackbeard, descriptions mentioned that his thick black beard was braided into pigtails, sometimes tied in with small colored ribbons. Johnson in 1724 described him as such a figure that imagination cannot form an idea of a fury from hell to look more frightful. Whether Johnson's description was entirely truthful or embellished is unclear, but it seems likely that Tech understood that the value of appearance is better to strike fear into the heart of one's enemies than to rely upon bluster alone. Do you like the character of Blackbeard? Would you consider drawing him? Here's two artist depictions of Blackbeard. And you can create a character by you read a verbal description. You can put the character in the setting of the story. Here we have an example on how to draw a face. Now we can actually click on this and you can get a step-by-step how to draw a portrait. And I think you'll really like it. It'll be very, very descriptive if this is what you want to do, if this is what you want to learn. And if you want to do a very famous portrait like the girl with the pearl earring, you might decide that you might want to write a character description about her and draw her in a different picture. Or you might want to do a very comic picture, like I invented the character Raymond the Rhino, and was such a nice fellow. He was gentle and mild. You could even say mellow. And I invented a little sweet rhino that loved to read and played the saxophone. And I had a picture of him created because I wanted the artist to create his character for me. Now, Beatrice Potter is one of my heroes. Beatrice Potter did the whole series of Peter Rabbit. And you can create a fictional character and write a character sketch about it. And Beatrice Potter, this is Jeremy Fisher, and it was one of her fictional characters. And she drew the picture as well. And it talks about what kind of person he was. Sits atop a lily pad, fishing rod in hand, waiting for the first catch of the day. You can use your imagination and make whatever character you want to. I even know 14 and 15-year-old kids that have even developed a whole comic book series for this. So, one of the things, the reason Jeremy, in my opinion, is the most charming of the Potter characters is because he's this gentleman that enjoys the simple things in life. You could do a character sketch of a real person in history. You can write the story of their life, the biography of them. And this is a description written of Teddy Roosevelt. The new vice president, was 5'10" tall, brown hair, and a heavy brown mustache. He wore pince nez glasses with thick lenses to correct vision that had been poor since his boyhood. He habitually gritted his teeth when smiling. His flashing incisors became one of his trademarks. Roosevelt had an unusually high-pitched voice and spoke in the dipped aristocratic cadences of a Harvard man. His most notable personal characteristics was his enormous vitality and energy. He was always in motion, and whenever he entered a room, people always felt an electric current. This was written by David Wallechinsky and Irving Wallace. Does this description give you some idea of what it might have been like to be around Teddy Roosevelt? Teddy Roosevelt is a picture of him as a woodsman and a hunter. The story is that his wife passed away on the same day that his mother did in the same house, and he was so grief-stricken, he went out west. And there's a picture of him out west. And John Singer Sargeant did the painting and the portrait. Notice how the background is important in these pictures. Notice how the light background and the dark really adds to the person. Another picture we can see a little bit more about Teddy Roosevelt. He's the person that we can thank for the teddy bear. They were convincing him to shoot a little bear, and he said no, he wouldn't do it. And this got to be a famous newspaper picture. And lo and behold, Morris Mitchum, a toy maker, saw it, and he decided he wanted to make a teddy bear. And the story is he wrote to Teddy and he said, "Do you mind if I use your name for my teddy bear?" And Teddy said something like, "Well, I don't think that my name will be worth much in the toy bear business, but you can certainly use it." So your assignment is to write a character sketch telling the inner and outer qualities of a person or animal that you want to write a story about. I have a master drawing book. If you're reading this and you email me, I will PDF the book to you. It's how to draw a realistic picture of a person, and however you want to draw it, it'll really help you a lot. In this portrait of the Blue Boy by Gainsborough, what do you think he was like just looking at the picture? Do you think he was a wealthy person? Does he look like he was kind and thoughtful? Many people have thought he looked arrogant. How do you feel about that? This just gives you an idea of your assignment. And when you evaluate it, you want to say, do I get a feel for the personality of the character I've read? I have read the character sketch after I've read it. Do I have effective transitions to help create a good flow to my writing? Does my sketch include subtle details of behavior, such as nervous tics or body language? And is it written in an academic style with vivid and precise descriptions and effective imagery? Is it free of grammatical errors? Now, in this story, the word color was spelled Collour, and in Britain, they do spell it that way. You might think there's a mistake, but no, not really. So if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. That'd be wonderful. And I have another exciting one next, and this one is about a giant squid in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Thank you for listening, and be sure and subscribe.